I was originally going to focus on just noses at different angles for this video, but I think compiling eyes, noses, and mouths would be pretty helpful for referring back to. So here we go. I find it's much easier to remember how things should look if you understand why they look that way. And the reason that facial features look different at different angles is because they are 3D objects. It's obvious, but since so many tutorials beginners tend to come across teach how to draw these things from a single flat view, like this nose example, you start to think of it that way. And these guidelines aren't designed to be used at different angles. For more practical reference, I'm 3D modeling some simple shapes to represent these features in their simplest form. Since we're already on the topic of noses, let's start there. This shape is sort of a pyramid if you cut it in half from corner to corner. The small triangle at the bottom of it is this part of the nose, and then the rest of the nose is two planes that connect at the nose bridge. Focusing on these two lines first, notice how when you turn the nose facing upward, they connect at the tip of the nose slanted upward, and when you turn the nose down, the direction flips. Here's what this looks like in a more detailed model, which I'll have a link to below. The bottom plane is most visible when it's turned upward, and completely hidden when turned downward. And you can also see that the nose bridge appears to get shorter at an upward angle, and appears longest when it's level or facing a little ways downward. From the side, you can get a better sense of why this is. The difference is seeing the bridge straight on versus at an angle. I don't have too much else to say about the other angles of noses, but here's that simple shape at more angles you can take a look at. If you have a hard time thinking of your drawings as 3D shapes, it's a good idea to practice drawing these. You can also step it up to something a bit more detailed, but still made up of simplified planes. A head model like this one is really good reference for that. Moving on to eyes, which I would break down as a sphere with an almond shape cut out of it. I would say one of the most useful things to know is how, in a straight-on view, the upper and lower eyelids have a similar amount of curve to them, but when turned upward, the lower lid curve appears to straighten out, and when turned downward, the upper eyelid straightens. This is a really great thing to memorize, and again, you can see a little better why this is from a side angle. The edge of an eyelid will either appear as a curve or a straight line, depending on the angle you view it at. Here's some more angles of this basic shape that might be useful to practice with. I consider eyebrows as a part of drawing eyes, and for that it helps to consider this space here between the eyes and eyebrows. With an upward facing face, this area is very visible, and so the eyebrows will seem to be higher up on the head. Then the opposite, when facing down, this space moves out of view, and the eyebrows appear to lower, maybe even overlapping a bit with the eyes. Eyebrows also angle downward a bit when facing down, which is why angry expressions work well and are so often drawn from this view, and upward angles have subtly upward angled eyebrows. You might avoid angling the eyebrows like this, thinking that it would make the person you're drawing look angry or upset when they aren't supposed to be, but that isn't generally a problem, considering this is the way eyebrows just naturally look at these perspectives, so it will also look natural in your drawing. Finally, from a side view, rather than draw the eyebrow at the same shape it would be from a front view, try making it a more horizontally compressed version of that shape. Just like all things on the face become shortened or compressed at different views, this means that we are seeing the eyebrow at a much steeper angle. Last of all, there's mouths, which you could think of as two half circles stuck together. The upper lip is a simple plane, and the lower has thickness. My reason for this being that the upper is usually somewhat flat, and the lower has some more roundness to it, so it makes more sense to represent it with two planes instead of just one. The upper lip faces downward at an angle, so when a person looks up, it will become straight on and very visible, and then looking down, it will become narrower looking and eventually completely hidden. The bottom lip, however, is really visible from any direction. You can see the mouth usually, but may appear narrower viewing from above or below, since the bottom or top side of it will disappear from view. Same with other facial features. Once you have the above, below, and side views figured out, any other angle you'll most likely want is essentially just going to be some combination of these. Treat it like drawing an in-between frame in animation. A 3/4 view of a nose is a blend between the straight-on and side view, and so on. So many possibilities become unlocked. Here's a couple of other videos you might also like to check out. Thanks for watching!